Hey there, Wondering Watchers. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to this Pick a Card reading, which reveals the major transformations that other people are noticing about you. Whether you're actively taking steps to manifest a better version of yourself or completely unaware of anything different taking place in your world, this reading tunes into the frequencies of those around you to find out which big changes they're eyeing. Keep in mind that these cards only provide perspective. You have agency over your life and you make the decisions about how you experience it. It's your choices and your actions that lead to the ultimate truth of your situation. If you are ready right now to see the transformations that others are spotting, then the link to each reading is in the description box below. In front of me, there are 4 piles, each with a card that contains affirmations and messages inspired by the corresponding stone's metaphysical properties. So here in pile number 1, we have this Carnelian stone here, and it says, creativity flows through me in myriad ways. I courageously bring my ideas into actuality. On the back, it says, activate the creative mind, finalize projects, realize unlimited potential, improve visualization skills, stimulate the courage to fulfill life purpose and potential. So that is Carnelian. Pile number 2, ruby in Fuchsite. I attract romance filled with divine love. I have a healthy sex life. On the back, it says sexual and sensual vibrancy, increase passion for life and in relationships, attract spirituality, aligned romance, love, and your soulmate. So that is ruby in Fuchsite. Pile 3, we have Peacock copper, also known as peacock ore. I confidently show my true colors to others. I am fabulous. On the back, it says, improve optimistic outlook on life, increase happiness, feel confident and comfortable, embrace ability to be in the spotlight. So that is peacock copper. And then in pile 4, we have pyrite. My confidence is rock solid. I take positive action to manifest my goals. On the back, it says, maintain an organized approach to life, manifest goals with ease, experience a solid foundation, be grounded and focused, realize financial freedom. So this is pyrite. So pick the pile that you are drawn to the most. You can choose based on the affirmation that reflects your current goals or the energy of the stone or even the colors that you like the best. There's no wrong way to choose. If you need more time to review your choices, then feel free to pause the video. Once you've made your decision, go to the description box and click the link for the corresponding pile. Now it is time to tap into the stones, choose your transformation revealing tarot adventure, and let's make magic happen. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 1, those who chose the passion and motivation inspiring Carnelian, to reveal the major transformations going on with you that are catching other people's attention. So I have in front of me 3 rose quartz pieces, creating a partition to differentiate the cards reflecting aspects of the past you versus the future you. So the cards that I'll place on the left side reflect how others used to see you or what they see you moving away from, letting go of, or transitioning out of. And then on the right, those cards reflect how others are starting to see you or what they see you moving towards, embracing, or transitioning into. So group number 1, let's get a couple cards here. So I'm going to start out with this one. We have this movement card for the past you and for the future you. We have here the warrior. Okay, so group number 1 in the past with this movement, in the future with this warrior card. So it could be that they see you kind of gearing up for something, like physically preparing yourself for some event, and now are kind of seeing you well prepared for it, like in a good position. It's for some of you, it could be dealing with physical movement, like if you've been working out or kind of preparing for like a marathon, or kind of putting yourself out there, going to like exercise classes, and then kind of seeing the results of it. And in the terms of like maybe what you think a warrior kind of looks like, someone who is fit, someone who is kind of motivated. There's a sense of like movement and motivation in both of them. With the warrior, it's almost a little bit more directed. So let's get some more cards here. And with the movement and the warrior, it seems to fit with that Carnelian, the Carnelian stone, which is very like courage-based, fiery, kind of aligns with the root chakra. So a sense of being grounded, stability. So we have here 2 of Wands for the past you. And I'm going to take this one. Got Justice card for the future you. So 2 of Wands in the past, Justice in the future. So a sense of you kind of planning, and again, this concept of fire and passion and movement, planning to kind of improve your situation, improve your life. And so there with the movement and planning, you can see even like the color scheme is pretty much the same. And so here it's more gearing up. You can see in this Justice card and this Warrior card, they both have a sense of power going on here. With the Justice card, it's almost whatever decisions you were weighing or planning and preparing for, it's as if you're starting to see those come into reality. It's like what you put into it is what is coming out of it. So whether this is like a physical movement or if this is kind of moving towards a certain goal, it seems like others are seeing you kind of step into a more poised position, a position of like being more upfront and possibly like direct about what it is that you want, what is you're trying to achieve or accomplish. So I'm going to take this card here. We have this Athlete card. So for those that were kind of, I was using that physical movement or like starting a class, physical movement is definitely something they have noticed about you in the past. Now we have this Detective card here for the future. So it's almost a sense of they're noticing that whatever you were kind of flexing up for, getting prepared for, planning for over here, it had to do with you and your personal limits, what it is that you were trying to develop for yourself, maybe a sense of discipline, maybe a sense of strength building, but it was more focused on you. And now they're kind of seeing with this detective card a sense of you being more concerned about others, and kind of seeing what is really impacting more people. Like maybe this was a very like you focused transition, in the sense of you wanted to become like more flexible, stronger, leaner, more fit, and now you are trying to like teach others, be an instructor, somehow like lead a class, being someone who kind of spots like, hey, this is how you can improve, like almost like aerobics instructor or a yoga instructor, something where it's like seeing what other people are kind of having troubles with and really applying what you've learned, or applying your skills on a grander scale. And maybe even that concept of detective, it's affecting more areas of your life. Like someone who decides to be more health conscious or physically fit, and then noticing that, you know, they sleep better and are able to have more energy or more focus, more clarity, more creativity. So here in the past, we have this deep knowing card. In the future you have this here and now card. So these cards, and it even says past and future. So here with this deep knowing, it's a sense of you really maybe not knowing how to get to a certain point, maybe trial and error, that type of thing going on with whatever this movement and this planning and this kind of gearing up to improve, a knowing that you want it to occur, you know what the results are. And perhaps there are people who were, getting you to naysaying, or just like, you don't need to do that today. You don't need to like go work out today. You don't need to, plan. You don't need to kind of watch your calories, whatever that is. It's the sense of that's kind of how you were. And then this Hero Now card, it's a sense of you kind of making sure that you're like in the present, that whatever it is that your choices are, kind of you're making sure that you're doing it based on what you want. And kind of along with it, line with this warrior, it's kind of making me think of this like flag, this red flag, and this looks like a fiery sword up here. It's making me think of you being more like ready to share the information that you kind of knew. Like now, back then, maybe you were just kind of trying out things, and maybe they kind of are seeing you transform into someone who is more like, these are the things that work for me. I can even tell you what would work for you based on what I know about your situation, and kind of being able to kind of speak up, like, no, I need to do these things because it has this effect, or I need to structure my day in this way, and more vocal about what it is that you're doing, more okay to share that, not necessarily that you were hiding it before, but maybe didn't want to tell everybody about what it was that you were doing, what you were planning for, or what your hopes were. And now it's just kind of like, this is you, this is what you're doing. And it's not like you need to tell everybody what you're doing, but you're not afraid to vocalize your purpose or your reasons or your goal. You have this card of solitude in the past. And you have this card of going forward for the future you. So group number 1, people are noticing that maybe you used to spend a lot of time on your own, maybe in this concept of deep knowing. And actually, I think it's interesting. You've got this kind of moon shapes here. You've got the moon here and like the reflection down here, even on this boat. So a sense of you being in your deep knowing, time to yourself, and kind of working on the things that you want to work on, whether it is physically trying to improve your body or making a physical move, like moving locations, or like towards, your career path, in terms of what it is you want to accomplish, and taking time for yourself to plan those things and work on those things. With this going forward now, a little bit more recognizing that you have built up these skills, or building up these skills, these tools, where you are actively speaking your truth, going after the things that you want, making the decisions that definitely impact your future, and more pushing beyond what you know. So it's not even movement in a confined space. It's like moving in terms of moving from what you knew, taking what you knew and like moving into the unknown. And that could be kind of like also that concept of the detective, of like seeking out truth. That's what it says up here. Desire to seek out truth. So perhaps whatever it is that started over here is transitioning into real, like a deeper desire or passion or motivation to pursue things that you're curious about, like speaking your truth, that kind of mean something to you. We have here Starry Night acceptance for the past you. So it seems like others have noticed that you kind of, in this taking movement, it is associated with some aspect of like your past, something where maybe you weren't necessarily proud of, or didn't think it would give you the strength that it actually has. Like for example, and if this is just an example, if this is like a health routine that they used to, like that they see you transitioning out of, or structured health routine that you were kind of doing on your own. It could be with this acceptance is like accepting the fact that you were unhealthy, or that you, needed to kind of get out of a rut, or accepting that wherever you were wasn't necessarily where you wanted to be. And then over here you have Secret Spring and Success. So this concept of like really moving forward, being more truthful, going after what you want, facing the unknown, like making your decisions for what's now, it's definitely focusing on potential. Here it's almost, they maybe noticed you're trying to improve a situation based on something in your past. Maybe not necessarily eager to share that experience with others, exactly what it was, though they could tell it's something that this focused energy here maybe kind of is a result of some things that you were keeping to yourself, some things that you were trying to deal with. But now in terms of like the person that you're transitioning into, the way that you are, it's like more being upfront. Not that you had to be upfront before, like you had the right to deal with things the way you needed to deal with it, but it seems like right now they see you kind of really going towards a goal as opposed to leaving a destination or leaving a point in the past that you wanted to keep in the past. So here in the past you've got this serendipity card, and for future, you've got life purpose. So the serendipity card, both of these are like good cards. I would say the difference here is the serendipity is kind of needing to kind of learn that it's all about divine timing, and kind of needing to accept that things aren't going to happen when you want them to, and there's not an answer to that concept of when, but kind of almost needing to accept that you have to kind of go on with your life in a certain way, and things will happen when they need to happen. In terms of how they are seeing you now, or what you're moving towards, is this concept of being more goal-oriented and coming from a place of like knowing who you are, loving who you are, coming from a place of love in general, and just being in that moment of like, there's nothing that you need, there's nothing that you can't, like that you need that you can't get or you don't already have. The sense of like really like not waiting for anything to happen, or not kind of like looking for signs for things to happen, just knowing that who you are, and your everyday sense of being is kind of enough, or is what is helping you to succeed, to move forward in a way that's like you are doing well, you're succeeding. So in the past, you have crystals and achievement. Future you've got smiley face, joy. So I do feel like they noticed that you very much were gearing up to improve yourself, to improve your life, to improve your situation, and that you have like accomplished those things for yourself. And now they see that with those tools, this concept of joy, like true happiness coming from you, and not necessarily coming from like even the destination you need to go to. It's like just being in the moment and doing what you want, and being who you are. It's almost a sense of like whatever you were visualizing for yourself, they see that you are actually getting those things, and going in a direction that you really wanted to go. Like this initial stages are pushing you towards where you want to go, and changing you in ways that are affecting your outlook, potentially your career path, and how you feel about yourself and what you're worthy of kind of having in your life. So definitely this concept of the Carnelian, that concept of courage, and like taking a vision and making it happen, and like motivation and passion really showing up here and getting you to where you want to go. It seems like others are seeing that in you. So group number 1, I hope this reading provides a helpful perspective of the big changes that others are seeing in you. We'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 2, those who chose the desire and sensual pleasure stimulating ruby in Fuchsite to reveal the major transformations going on with you that are catching other people's attention. So the way I have this set out, I have 3 rose quartz pieces in front of me, creating a partition to differentiate the cards reflecting aspects of the past you versus the future you. The cards on the left side reflect how others are seeing you, or the way they see you moving away from or letting go or transitioning out of something. And the cards on the right reflect how others are starting to see you, or what they see you moving towards, embracing, or transitioning into. So let's go ahead and get some cards out for you, group number 2. So I'm going to take this one, and we'll take this one. Okay, this one wanted to come out. All right, so for the past you, we have this card of rest. For the future you, we have this card of falling. So it could be that others had noticed that you had done something hard, something difficult, something that drained you, and really you needed time to recuperate, get back to who you are. But it seems like they are seeing you transition into something that is maybe deeper or harder than what initially got you into this rest situation. So perhaps it has to do with a relationship, considering ruby and Fuchsite is about, helps to strengthen bonds of friendship and love. So let's see, in the past, we have here the 6 of Wands. So a sense of people seeing you as succeeding, overcoming obstacles. And then in the future, we have here the 8 of Cups. So kind of seeing you transitioning into leaving something behind. To me, there is a sense of like a little bit of this rest here, a little bit of tranquility going on. And even in the 6 of Wands here, a sense of being in your own world, a sense of kind of separation almost. So this falling and this 8 of Cups that others are seeing you transition into, it's almost as if they see you not trying to struggle anymore. There's like no obstacle. It's like as if whatever you were dealing with in the past, you would find a way to succeed or make things better, but kind of not really feel part of it, if that makes sense, in the sense of like, it's almost like, yeah, I can like face challenges and come out like on top, but I don't get to be part of the celebration. I get to be like something that people kind of see and almost needing to play a role a little bit, because you can see this person like in the spotlight, and needing to like all eyes on them. And now it's almost they see you kind of with this falling, like there's no one watching you. There's no one that is kind of having an expectation. Whatever performance there was before that kind of like you could do but needed maybe to like recover from, it's as if they see you walking away from something. There's like no performance that you're doing, I guess, in the future anymore. So here in the past, you have this mentor. For the future you have child wounded. That's interesting. So this concept of like a mentor, this concept of like passing on wisdom, playing a role where you felt someone was watching, other people were paying attention to what you were doing. So it's as if you had to do this performance, and it's as if with this child wounded, what they see you transitioning into, it's as if whatever you were trying to teach or whatever you were trying to show to others is no longer as important as paying attention and making sure that a part of yourself, a part of your sense of helping other people get through their issues, like that you're checking on you first. So it's almost as if like, and I think it's interesting that like the color scheme here of this Six of Wands and this mentor, it's almost as if they see you kind of putting on a performance to maybe help other people, to kind of show them the way, and just kind of seeing you just be over it and recognize that you have some of your own issues, concerns, parts that you need to deal with, and not just putting on a certain performance, really getting to like a part of you that maybe you neglected, pushed away, that you feel you need to start paying attention to. So here, that's for the past. I'm going to get another card for future you. Okay, so past you've got this peace card. Future you've got this poised card. So it's making me kind of think of this concept of rest and just putting on a performance. It's almost as they are kind of seeing how you're moving away from just keeping the peace, just doing what is expected of you, for someone else. They see you as really focusing on improving who you are, preparing for something that you are desiring, where you get to be a part of it. And I think it's really interesting. You can see like these arms raised in the different ones. Like here, the Six of Wands, you just see this person from behind. You just see their back. But from this poised perspective, you could see this person is fully like enjoying this moment, fully like celebrating themselves, life, and what's coming for them. Here, it's more like, I just, if you've ever watched the Olympics, when it comes to like those gymnastics, like it's at the end, they do all this hard work, they do these flips, they jump around, swing their body all over the place, and then they stick a landing and they're like, ta-da, I did it, I entertained you. And with this poised, it's almost as if it's preparing for embracing this life, this embracing their own life, embracing a sense of joy in what they're doing or what you're doing. I guess I was kind of looking at the people in the card, but So yeah, kind of almost really tapping into that part of yourself, your part of joy that maybe you were just putting a performance on before, of that was more for other people as opposed to for yourself. So for past you, you've got forgiveness. For future you, you've got trust. So again, this concept of like, oh, and interesting. Again, this concept of like the arms raised. It's almost as if they saw you kind of, the past you, perhaps trying to do this performance because you hadn't yet forgiven somebody, forgiven a part of yourself, or you thought that this would make things better. Like you going through the motions here, you trying to show someone how you could stick through something, not make a fuss, not make too much demands, was a way of you kind of making things right. But here with this concept of trust now, it's almost as if it's making me think of this Eight of Cups. This Eight of Cups here, and this concept of trust is that you are trusting yourself, that you're starting to trust. Maybe they see that you've already moved through this aspect of forgiveness of yourself for kind of going through the motions, and more starting to trust your intuition, trust that when things aren't for you, trust when it's almost making me think of this falling is almost like a recognition of you seeing that, like, even though you're doing all these things, in the end, it's just you that has to deal with the consequences. It's you that has to pick up the pieces, or, have that hard landing in reality, and that you are kind of have made or are making that choice to really trust yourself, not necessarily try to appease others, and really almost knowing what's best for you. And I'm going to take this one here. Okay. Let's see what else we have for you, group number 2. In the past, we have this love card. This is great. But in the future, you've got this Bluebird Spirit Happiness card. So I feel like this is very appropriate for the ruby and fuchsite stone here, this concept of connections and love. It's as if they saw you like being someone who was loving, who cared for people, that wanted to live in a place of passion and really being in a world that you felt love and you were giving love. But it's almost as if it's not that you are transitioning out of being in a place of wanting love. It's almost as if they are seeing this transformation where the love that you are giving and showing is more to yourself. This and it's not necessarily bad to be selfish, to pay attention to what's around you, how you're feeling, your senses, your sense of pleasure, your ability to communicate with the world around you, and to it's a sense of you trusting that you need to focus on you even more. So I feel like the concept of love hasn't changed. It's more that, that concept of this love includes tough love, but this is a sense of happiness, a sense of positivity, a sense of really, they see you really wanting to communicate from a place of love where you are fulfilled. You are, shouting out to the world with happiness. You're ready for something amazing to happen. So in the past, you have this card of worthiness, and in the future, you've got this card of self-respect. I think this is very interesting. This concept of worthiness, kind of needing to recognize that you are enough, that there is, and it goes back to this falling concept of like, at the end of the day, you are the one that tells you that you're worthy, that you have value. And that is enough, is your own view of yourself, and recognizing that you're here for a purpose, and that purpose is meaningful, and you might as well embrace it. And like that concept of falling, where like if something, like you are responsible for yourself, your own outcome. This card of like self-respect, it's almost as if it's gone from needing to recognize that you are the one that gives yourself value, not necessarily the performances you put on, not necessarily what other people are going to say about you, because people can say whatever they want. That's their perception of you, and it might not even be a true perception of you. It's gone from that to knowing that you have value and seeing you actually demand that others adhere to that recognition. So here in the past, it's a sense of them seeing you maybe struggling or putting on a performance, doing things for other people, but you kind of being in a place where you need to recognize that what you're doing for others really isn't going to, it's not going to help your sense of self and feeling love and your sense of self-worth. It's how you feel about yourself. And so it's almost they see you kind of making these changes where it's like you have value for yourself, you have respect for yourself, you have standards, you have boundaries, and you're not going to perform for anybody. People either like you for you, what you have to offer, they put in as much as you're putting in. There's like a sense of equal give and take, because you understand that you are worthy of not being the only person doing all the work here. So I do think it's very subtle. These changes are very subtle, but they're also very impactful in terms of how you experience your world and how you experience what's going on around you. So here we have this rainbow of hope in the past and in the future. You have this peace and harmony. I think this is really interesting because you have peace over here in the past in terms of how they see you. And this card of rainbow and hope, this is like a card of happiness, of it's making me think of this wounded child. So if you're looking at it, it's almost like here it's even the past you, if you look at it from top to bottom, being like further past, closer to the future you, it's as if this concept of them seeing you recognize that you kind of have to focus on yourself, the things that light you up, and these kind of kid drawings and these letters on the wall almost transition into them seeing like there is a hope or a wish to really focus on yourself, and then kind of coming over here and then leaving, behind the things that aren't serving you, and focusing on this concept of the wounded child. And the light attributes for that say awakens compassion and a desire to serve others, opens the learning path of forgiveness. So this concept of serving others, where this mentor is, it's almost kind of stems from this concept of the wounded child. And then shadow attributes down here says blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. So it's almost a sense of like whatever was happening here in the past is coming over here to the future you and healing some aspects of the past, and then the results of it are finding this peace and harmony again, but more on your terms, where you are like, I know what I deserve, I know what I require from others, and a sense of being good with that, being good with what your past and your path was and is, and coming from this almost a sense of harmony of who you are, and being able to start certain connections with others based on having come to this place of having higher standards, recognizing your sense of happiness, trusting how you feel, being in a place where you're feeling joy, and kind of almost being on like not middle ground, a sense of a baseline, a new baseline for connecting with people, making friends, having, lovers, those types of things, where this concept of you doing things because of trying to help others or trying to protect others or trying to give a lot of yourself just to make it so other people could be okay. It's going to be more for like, this is you living life the way that you want to live it, with a sense of joy and a sense of really embracing that passion and that passionate form of love that kind of forms like more intimacy, like more this concept of trust is more intimate, more vulnerable when it comes to connections. So group number 2, I hope this reading provides a helpful perspective of those big changes that others have been seeing in you. We'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 3, those who chose the good vibes and positivity boosting Peacock copper or Peacock ore to reveal the major transformations going on with you that others are noticing. I have in front of me 3 pieces of rose quartz to create this partition to differentiate the cards reflecting aspects of you in the past versus the future you. So the cards on the left will reflect how others used to see you or what they see you moving away from, letting go of, transitioning out of. And then the cards on the right will reflect how others are seeing or starting to see you now, or what they see you moving towards or embracing or transitioning into. So group number 3, let's get some cards for you. So we're going to start off with I'm going to take this card here for the past aspect of you, and then let's see, for the future aspect, I'm going to take this card here. Okay, for the past, we have this card of inner peace. For the future, we have this card of the visionary. So group number 3, it could be that they see you kind of transitioning out of a period where you needed to kind of figure out some things with yourself, accept some aspects of your past, choices that you've made, and kind of take some time to just be okay, just kind of find a place of acceptance almost. But here we see the visionary coming out, or they see the visionary like emerging in you. Someone who is kind of seeing how everything fits together for their future, a sense of being more clear about things and really tapping into the potential and possibly even looking. This person is like literally like looking up, and this concept of inner peace. I believe this person is like in water. So they're both looking up, but from a different perspective. Here, this person is kind of sitting up, kind of relaxing, looking out the window and looking at this potential, like almost ascending to either like a higher purpose or something greater in life. But this person with this inner peace is kind of in their emotions and needing some stillness in order to come to a place of recognition and acceptance about themselves. So it's as if they see you moving more into this potential of what you can become or what you can create, as opposed to being more what you can be okay with in terms of your life or yourself. So let's see what else we have here. Well, I'm not going to take all of those. I'm going to just take one card from this deck because we got more cards to go with. Let's take this one sticking out. So for the past you, you've got this Knight of Swords. For the future you, you've got this Ace of Cups. So group number 3, they saw you as someone who would kind of jump to make something right, kind of make something happen, maybe not necessarily know exactly where you're going, but a sense of wanting to take action, wanting to insert yourself into life. And here they're seeing you with this Ace of Cups, really embracing wanting to connect with things on a more emotional level, trusting your intuition maybe, trusting your imagination and your creativity, coming from a place of happiness, as opposed to possibly like problem solving or trying to make things right. And it could be that they see you transitioning into this more heart-centered version of yourself because of having gone through that inner peace period of kind of reflecting and accepting and I see it, they may see that it's actually, I'll take this because it flipped over. They actually see it as connecting to that concept of the visionary, that sense of you wanting to be more connected to your potential. Okay, so let's see here. So in the past, you've got this card of Servant. So it's almost as if the things that you were doing that were motivating you were for the benefit of others, perhaps. And not necessarily, maybe this movement, this kind of making things happen, was because there was a sense of being stuck in a certain role. With this future you, they see you kind of transitioning into this Virgin card here. And this is more about purity of heart and spirit, as opposed to sexual relations. Although, that could be part of it as well. I do notice like all these like hearts that are kind of wrapping around this person here. So basically it's almost a sense of embracing a purity about yourself, about your heart, about a sense of who you are, or a sense of how you can genuinely connect on a heart level. It's like you are embracing that aspect of yourself, allowing yourself to be more heart-centered, and not just in one area of your life, with different areas of your life where it's like how you are going to be affected by others, or how you're going to affect others. It's as if there is going to be major like effect taking place, because there is a sense of coming from a place of what's truly yours, what you truly possess, what truly lifts you up, what truly fulfills you, as opposed to trying to figure out a way to feel fulfilled in doing something for someone else. So for some of you, this could be like switching like career fields, or even being more creative, or even just a shift in your view of how you are of service to others, or how you are performing in life, as instead of just kind of like saying and doing, actually feeling your way through and actually feeling connected to what it is you're doing and what it is you're saying, because it's generally coming from a place of your heart, as opposed to a place of just action and movement for the sake of it. So here in the past, we have this card of deep knowing. In the future, we have this card of to be fair. So both of these cards have a sense of like honesty and truth to it. With this deep knowing, it's almost as if there was kind of like with this inner peace, something below the surface, something where it is your motivations are not necessarily ones that you are identifying. Not the type of things you would put like on a job resume or want to identify in an interview, if that makes sense. Aspects of why it is there was a need to kind of take action to make change, and ultimately doing things for the benefit of others more than a benefit for yourself. And then when this to be fair card, it's almost a sense of like you're recognizing what you're putting into something is what you get out of it. So like recognizing if you're just doing things without necessarily intentions that are clear, that are getting you to focus on what you want to move forward in life, then you're kind of just swimming in that same pool. You're kind of like marinating in it almost. But here it's as if you are transitioning to kind of say, if I want to live in a certain way with happiness, with joy, with kind of lifting everyone's positivity around me, If that's what I want, then that's the way that I need to kind of live. That's like I need to kind of do these things and aspire for these things. That is more about the truth of what you want, especially coming from the heart. And I think that other people would see this as you perhaps being more happy, sharing more good times, like doing more fun things, and then transitioning out of like, oh, I have to do this for someone else. I can't really do this or that. I want to spend some time to myself, kind of, I don't know, thinking about things, or kind of a more private, more like matter of fact. And they're seeing you kind of coming more from a place of pure joy and like fun. So in the past, we have this card of fulfillment. Future you, we've got this card of truth. Okay, so here I do get a sense that they see you moving away from this place of like, it's like they saw the intention of you doing things and making things happen, regardless if it was like matter of fact or if there wasn't like necessarily joy involved in it. They saw that you were trying to find a sense of fulfillment in your life, something to kind of really fill up your cup, to make you happy, to make you feel satisfied. And I sense that they are recognizing that this concept of to be fair, it's almost like they see you recognizing the truth is you always had that ability to make things more fulfilling, but you needed to come from your truth, your sense of like what you wanted, and not compromise your own beliefs. And so it could be that like this transition here is a result of you recognizing, like wanting to do things, wanting to kind of figure things out, wanting to see how your life could improve if you just focus on fun a little bit. Like if you're not getting happiness and joy from the things that you think other people want from you, or kind of without really almost like thinking about it, understanding your own motivations, then it is just going through the motions. But it seems like even this deep knowing fulfillment here, you could see it's like this moon and then this peach here, but it's like a sense of this imagery is as if they could sense you were trying to figure it out. You were trying to find a way to be fulfilled, but not necessarily, putting it on blast that's, what the intention was. So here we have bear spirit healing in the past, and for future you, we have phoenix and transmutation. So group number 3, others could get a sense that you were trying to have this place of inner peace, this concept of acceptance, of knowing who you are, of like trying to figure things out and be in a place where you were able to move forward. But they see you kind of transitioning into this more determined, fiery, motivated, passionate version of kind of improving. Like healing is kind of just getting back to status quo, just kind of being okay with how things are going without necessarily not necessarily advancing beyond just getting back to baseline. Here I see that this change in you, they see it really affecting all aspects of who you are, your potential in life. This concept of like really letting go, not just letting go of what's in the past, but intentionally rebuilding your life, or like re-energizing your life from a different place. It's like a rebirth. Here, this concept of a virgin, a sense of purity of heart, and this Ace of Cups and this visionary. It's like they see you taking on this really bright, fiery transformation, as opposed to like these kind of like muted colors over here. It's like, it's bold, it's impactful, and it's almost like igniting a passion in you, or at least showing others the passion that you have, a passion for life, for the connections, for happiness. And it's not quite a peacock. I'm going to take this one. It's not quite a peacock, but it's definitely very, very colorful, this phoenix here. So, but I see how this peacock or like drove your attention, or came to your attention. So here we have this card of love in the past, and in the future we've got this card of commitment. So here it's as if they knew that you have a good heart, that you were coming from a place of compassion and love, but trying to figure out how to live that way day to day. And they kind of see you now transitioning, where they feel like you are definitely coming from this place of love. You're embracing it. I think it's interesting how on this love card, you've got this blue surrounded by this pink heart, and on this person's shirt, I think even the shirt has like stars on it. You've got this pink heart in the middle. So I feel like they are seeing that this effort that you're putting into being, a loving person and compassionate and wanting to live from that place of love is really transforming you, where it's allowing you to be in a place where you recognize the love for yourself, and you are creating this new opportunity to have a really positive connection with someone. This could be romance, this could be career, this could be friends. It's like allowing you to recognize who you are, what you have to offer, and be in a place where you are open to really thriving by yourself, on your own, with who you are, with what you want to kind of accomplish in life. Really, it's like it's as if this positivity that you have for yourself is drawing in other people. Other people recognize it. Well, I mean, that's kind of what this reading is about, is what they're recognizing. But they recognize it, and it's almost as if they are being drawn to it, drawn to your sense of happiness, of your sense of joy, and really kind of, if you are, it's like you're emanating some positivity that they really want to tap into. So in the past, you've got this succulence, this resilience card. So it's as if this concept of like inner peace, time out, healing, kind of going through the motions and like rinse and repeat this cycle. This is something that they could see that you could deal with, that you were able to live in, and kind of, it's like you almost adapted very well to this environment. In the future here, we have this concept of water and surrender. So here it's a sense of like, it's almost making me think of like the Queen of Cups, the concept of cups being associated with the element of water, and also cups being associated with the element of water. So queens and cups, it's like double water. And so a sense of really trusting your intuition, trusting who you are, and surrendering to this new, like this rebirth almost. And what's interesting about succulents here is that they are the kind of plant that really doesn't require a lot of water to survive. In fact, that's like almost how they do better. These succulents over here have been sitting on my desk. I brought them, drove them from California to Texas, and I think I watered them once, but that was once in the past like 4 or 5 months, and they're like still thriving. They're fine. It's almost a sense of you are now like fully going into, like diving into this place of emotion, of imagination, of creativity, of joy and happiness, of recognizing that what you're putting into your life is what you're getting out of it, and making this big like transformation, this transmutation, changing something that was very practical into something very passionate. That's what I see kind of going on here. So this concept of the, peacock copper, this concept of being fabulous and confident and really being vibrant. I feel like they see that really happening for you. So group number 3, I hope that this reading provides a helpful perspective of the huge changes that others are noticing about you. We will see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 4, those who chose Power and Abundance Building Pyrite, to reveal the major transformations going on with you that are catching other people's attention. So I have in front of me 3 pieces of rose quartz, creating a partition to differentiate the cards reflecting aspects of the past you and the future you that others are noticing. The cards on the left side will reflect how others used to see you, or what they see you moving away from, letting go of, or transitioning out of. The cards on the right will reflect how others are starting to see you, or what they see you moving towards, embracing, or transitioning into. So let's go ahead and get some cards started for you here. Okay, so we're going to start with the past. I'm going to take this card here, and then in terms of the future you, I'm going to take this card here. All right, for the past, we have this connection card. For the future, we have this clearing card. Okay, so this connection could be like a relationship that you were in, a friendship, some type of situation where you felt like really drawn to someone, felt really that there was like mutual support, seeing eye to eye. This clearing card here kind of indicates a need to let go of some emotions, some like getting rid of something in your life, perhaps related to that specific connection, or possibly how you were connecting with people in general. But it's almost as if they see you transitioning to a place where where your emotions or what's building up around you needs to be healed. So here in the past, we have the Three of Swords. So this is the card of heartbreak, breakup, disappointment. Interestingly, you've got this tree in the background. So here you've got these people in this tree together. So it's almost as if this is some breakup of a friendship, of a relationship, romantic relationship, a sense of maybe betrayal. And with the Five of Pentacles in the future, it's almost as if they see you trying to, they see you kind of needing to let go of some stuff. Like if you haven't fully disconnected with these people, seeing you disconnect from them and working to build yourself up. It's almost like they see it's impacting your sense of self-value, self-worth, and possibly impacting how you're going to feel like connected to someone again in the future. But they see you really needing to cut out from your life some negativity, things that are no longer serving you, a need to really focus on focusing on your health, your physical body, your mental energy, your emotional energy, your sense of like building yourself up to want to be motivated and live life for you. So here in the past, we've got this hedonist card, and in the future, we've got this priest card. So here I feel like there was a strong, they saw you really focusing on something that was maybe superficial, something that gave you almost like instant gratification. So it's a question of whether or not this connection was truly going to provide fulfillment, or if it was a quick fix or something that was like just on the surface, but possibly impacting something from your past. It's almost as if they see you as this connection was bound to fail, because it was rooted in something that maybe wasn't genuine in the first place. It's almost like I get the vibe of the devil here, like a sense of focusing too much on, sexual pleasure or attraction, or something that was like someone got a real benefit out of this that should have, like, I guess it should have been known that the benefit that they got wasn't going to come at a price, or was a true benefit, like for their best and highest good. In terms of this priest card, what they see you transitioning into, it's a sense of like trusting, almost needing to place your trust in something that is not for, not based on how someone else sees you, like the value that they give you, or like a relationship, but more on seeing you, recognizing that you need to connect more with your higher self, that you need to have something that is pure, something that is not necessarily going to be tarnished or tainted in a way because there, someone else's needs are involved. I feel like this has to do more with you and your connection with your sense of self-value, your beliefs, and almost as if there is a potential for you to have compromised your beliefs, gone against what you said you wouldn't do, or gone against what you knew to be like the better route, and then kind of recognizing that you need to get back to that place of, I want to say, not necessarily morality. Whatever you do in your life is up to you, but a sense of your adhering to your own personal ethics and your own truth about what drains you of energy, what makes you feel yucky. I guess that's the best way to say that, like when it comes to your connections with other people. So here in the past, we have this Treasure Island card. This is really fascinating. This is that concept of instant gratification. It's almost recognizing that like you have everything you need. The treasure is within you. Like you don't need to necessarily find it somewhere else or look for it somewhere else. You just need to know where to look. And it's almost as if the true treasure, the true value, the true sense of pleasure, treasure, reward, like hitting the jackpot is within you, and you have access to it the whole time. And that maybe it's as if you understand that this connection put you in a really bad place to kind of turn away from that understanding, and kind of tarnish that. So here you have the future you, what you're moving towards. You have this Imagine card. So they see you kind of like it's uncomfortable. It's not amazing what's, this transition that's taking place in terms of like what's going on in the past. But the potential for the future, if you really embrace this clearing card, and this is like a scary card to me, but this is like really like, I think it's intentionally scary. I think it's meant to kind of draw your eyes to the fact that this person is like, it's like they have no life. They have no, it's almost like they're not alive until they drain this negativity or clear this negativity from their life. And then here, what comes out of it, you've got this Imagine card, this potential, and it's like in the middle, you kind of see like a child with a balloon that's like the moon. It's a sense of possibilities again, of almost starting over, almost creating the sense of life that you want, but from that place of pure truth, your pure sense of trusting yourself, seeing what is you can make possible without necessarily catering to someone else, fitting into what they might want, changing your ways to kind of make someone else feel good, or even finding a way where you are thriving, and you feel like you deserve it, like what comes out of it. I feel like with this Treasure Island, they see that you were someone who was amazing to begin with, but something changed, and it kind of has affected your outlook, and they see that you're struggling right now and maybe need to get back to your sense of ethics, your sense of beliefs of what makes your life something that is every day something to treasure and something that is amazing without someone else needing to be involved in it. So here in the past, we have this card of wonders. And this is kind of that card of like going beyond what you know and like experiencing something amazing, something that you hadn't thought possible. And then you have this card of flow. So definitely this image of this clearing, imagine, and like concept of flow is happening here, where it's as if this great shininess, this great sense of wonder and potential that you were before is needing to really just accept and start over and be okay to let go of some of these things. Some of these things that you may have thought were adding to the amazingness of your life, but really recognizing that there were some things that you knew weren't worth it, some things that you knew were either too good to be true or would have a bad outcome or a bad impact on yourself or others. So it's as if they see, I mean, basically it's like they see that you are really need to get out of something that was toxic over here. So in the past, we have Spirit Guardian of Spring with this activation card. In the future you, we've got this Bear Spirit Healing card. So I feel like there was they saw like you kind of going after something that you thought was really amazing but should have known better about, or like this is almost, they saw you as going for this situation or being in this situation and helping to facilitate it and believing that was something that would help you to thrive. It's as if they see that the intentions there were wanting this to be something great, wanting this to be something that was amazing, possibly ignoring willfully or unintentionally the negatives of it, what's the word I'm saying? The harms. I guess that's not knowing exactly what the situation is. Whether it's like dating someone who is, skims off the top of their employer's bank account for their personal gain, and you got to like benefit from it, or they like partied so much that they miss work the next day and you were part of that. It's as if they're aware that you were enjoying this when it was good, and with this healing card here, it's as if they see you kind of needing to start over, start fresh, really be okay with yourself, but needing to detach from the things that are not good for you, and to again call in your guides, your guardians, your angels, spirit guides, religious leaders to help you to kind of forgive yourself, heal through something, and find that place of like purity again, sense of hope and I guess joy. So here in the past, we have this card of maturity, and now we have this card of the gardener in the future. So here with this card of maturity, I get the sense that others are seeing you deal with the consequences of your actions, taking responsibility for it, having to deal with the reality of whatever the situation is or was, and kind of, owning it. There's really no other way of saying that. There, maybe recognizing that, you're taking a little bit of the blame, or you are not necessarily putting all the blame on someone else. And here they see you transitioning to this gardener. And this is, them seeing you actively pruning, weeding, taking out all the bad stuff that is killing, tainting, destroying the potential that you have here in this beautiful garden, which is you. It's almost like that treasure island. So it seems like they are seeing you kind of take ownership and stepping up to recognize like what you need to cut out. That could be a person, that could be whatever hedonistic, pleasure building activities that were involved in that connection. Cutting that out, or just like overall changing your routine, your life in a way that is focusing on forgiveness, healing, and connecting back to a higher version of yourself, or a higher perspective of what your connection is and your purpose is in this world. So here in the past, we have this mirror and reflection card. So it seems like others have noticed, again, with this concept of taking responsibility, that you are reflecting on what's taken place, how this connection or this desire for a connection has really taken certain hopes that you had, genuine desires and abilities and kind of motivations that you have, and how it got twisted, and how you contributed to that or allowed that to take place, or owning the results of it. And you've got this hello again, recover, recycle. So here I get the sense that they are others are seeing that this concept of healing, recovering. I do also think they are concerned about you doing this again. This concept of hello again, recycle, recover, and this connection to like a higher purpose, I feel like is potentially the way you kind of break that cycle. Well, all this is, but like almost a sense of you needing to have a connection with something or someone that is not pleasure-seeking earthbound. This can be like, again, a mentor, a spiritual leader, guardian angel, your higher self, or even something greater than yourself, of like why you are here and what you're meant to accomplish, to really break out of whatever this downfall was. So I feel like they see you have the potential to make a difference, to really have confidence to break out of this cycle. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take some healing, because they don't quite see that confidence yet. And they see that this, this channeling spiritual energy, and like spiritual commitments, or commitment to a higher purpose, that is something that is needed, so that you aren't seduced by the dark side again. So group number 4, I hope that this reading provides a helpful perspective of the big changes that others are seeing in you. In the meantime, using some of this pyrite to boost your confidence and to inspire you and take away negative energies, that might be helpful. But we'll see you next time. Take care.